And welcome back. You're watching the fall series of TCBS. I'm so excited to have our special guest on with us today. Listen, let me let you know off top, you're going to be in for a treat today. We have Mr. Orlando Farrell, Mr. Orlando Archibald, and Mr. Keedrum Smith. How are you guys feeling?
Wonderful.
Man, I feel good. I feel good.
I'm excited that you guys are here. Man, I'm turned. I just want to be honest with you. I'm turned as hell. Mr. Keedrum, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
23 years old. I work in the refineries, fire watch, whole watch. I just, make sure my guys are safe. Living a good life, living life to the fullest, thanks to the man upstairs.
Okay. And Mr. Archibald, I'm going to call him Archibald today because both of their names are Orlando, and I want you guys to know who the hell I'm talking to. So, Archibald, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
Currently a college graduate from Columbia Southern University for environmental management. Okay. So I'm currently a safety technician. Okay. Working my way up in the field, hopefully to elevate to a manager. So, only time will tell.
Sounds exciting, man. Best of luck to you with that. And Mr. Farrell, Orlando Farrell, how are you feeling today, my man?
I'm feeling blessed.
You just came from an audition. Tell us a little about the audition you just came from. Did it go well?
It did go well, man. But like I told him, I had to
dip out.
I had to dip out because of this, man. I didn't want to miss this. I didn't want to miss your show, man.
For sure.
And I appreciate you, first and foremost, for inviting me out,
Listen,
man.
I'm excited that you tell us a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do.
Absolutely. I am an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I have several different ventures. I have a licensed insurance broker. I have my own insurance agency. I own a construction company, general contracting service. We do residential and commercial work. I have a sports app called Fire Fan. I also have a online men and women clothing and apparel store with free shipping on all the products.
Goodness.
And I have a book that's coming out December 3rd on my birthday.
Wow, I'm excited. We're going to be talking about that book a little bit more. What's the name of that book, the project you have coming out?
Understanding the Road to Wintersville.
Understanding the Road to Wintersville. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about that a little bit. I'm excited to have all you guys on today. There's a lot going on in the world today. And, of course, I want to get your take on some of the things that are going on. I mean, we got a lot of things going on in sports as it relates to politics. And then we got a lot of things going on in politics and in current events. So what are some of the most important things going on in politics? How do you guys feel about some of the current events that have been taking place, let's say with Honorable Judge Kavanaugh, with him being nominated to the Supreme Court? How do you feel about that, Keedrum, as it relates to the allegations that are up against him right now?
For me personally, I don't watch politics. I don't watch anything dealing with that. So I really wouldn't. I've heard about it, but I don't really have an intake on it.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Archibald?
Unfortunately, I have to pass on that topic, Skip.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Farrell?
Well, I got an opinion on everything.
Okay.
Chip, I mean, and me, I think it's a bunch of BS, man.
Okay.
And I mean, you're gonna put this guy in here, how we know how he is,
right?
Allegations that against him. I don't think these women are just gonna come forth and say what they're saying about you if you didn't do it.
Right.
So you take Bill Cosby, he's going to prison now, and then this guy here, they putting him on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Dude, that ain't right. I mean,
doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't make sense.
Hey, we're in America, though.
Yep, the land of the free, the home of the brave. Also want to let you guys know we're also live right now, so please, at any moment, chime in, give us questions if you want to ask our guest today anything. Be sure to comment, and we'll be going back and forth, and we'll be looking at some of the questions that you guys submit to our panel today. Hey, so quick question, switching gears. Do you guys watch football?
Absolutely.
Every now and then.
Keedrum, you don't watch football? So you're not into politics, so what are you into, Keedrum? What are you into? What do you do with your spare time?
I like to shoot.
You like to go to the gun range?
Weapons, yes.
Okay. Well, how did you get into that?
I've always had a thing for weapons.
You've always had a thing for weapons. Okay.
Sound weird, huh?
Yeah, sounds pretty out there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I have my hobbies. You have yours, right?
Yeah, I have hobbies.
Y'all have hobbies?
Oh yeah, man, of course.
Okay. You guys ever been to the gun range?
Yeah, I actually own a gun.
Okay. That's interesting. Is that something that you guys are like afraid of as a gun owner? I'm a gun owner myself. Like, do you ever have that fear of like you being that Philando Castile like type of situation? Is that something that you guys fear? I was talking to a gentleman who is a gun owner, and he just had a completely different perspective about owning a gun. He says that he's been pulled over a couple of times, and he made the presence of his firearm known to the police officer, and it was never an issue. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, it shouldn't be an issue. It's legal to open carry.
Yeah.
And I was reading up on it that anytime if the police officer asks to see a CHL, it's lawful to show him if you're open carrying.
Definitely.
So, I don't have any negative intakes on it. You just, if he asks, she should present it.
It seems as though like our issue with police brutality maybe has not died down, but at least in the news, people don't talk about it as much. Is that something that you guys still, when you come into contact with a police officer, how does it make you feel, Farrell? How does it make you feel when you come into contact with someone of law enforcement, say if you're driving down the street?
Well, Chip, now that I'm a little older and wiser now, I have a more sense of understanding.
Right.
It don't bother me at all.
Okay.
You know, it don't bother me none whatsoever. Even though I am a black African American in this country, it has no effect on me none whatsoever.
I'm sure you have a viewpoint on that as well, Archibald. What do you think about that?
You know, for me personally, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You know, I feel that we live in a country, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Right.
Because we always talk about, you know, oh, what should I tell my son? What should I tell my child to not have them feel threatened by the police?
Right.
Sometimes, you know, an officer can just have a bad day. He just want to be a
They're
hell
human
raiser.
too. Yeah.
So, you know, how I would handle that personally is, you know, I was taught not to fear anybody.
Right.
You know, don't fear no man. If you don't have anything to hide, you don't have anything to worry about. So, you know, with that being said, if you know that you're a law-abiding citizen,
right,
you shouldn't have to hide your hand. Now, going back to your gun question, I am a concealed handgun owner. You know, I also, you know, carry my weapon on my person if need being.
Okay.
But, you know, I tell anybody, if you're a law-abiding citizen and you have the opportunity to get your gun license to be properly registered,
right,
you know, take advantage of what the world has to offer.
Definitely.
Especially if your state will allow you to do something like that.
Let's switch gears. That's a wonderful point. I'll touch on that. It's interesting. I'm sure we'll delve a little bit more into it a little bit later. But it's interesting because, like, most people that have these negative experiences are law-abiding citizens. And if they aren't law-abiding citizens, the question that I oftentimes ask when someone is fatally wounded at the hands of a police officer is, well, maybe they were breaking some law, but did they deserve to lose their life? No. Right? So it's just like you said, there's like a dichotomous feeling that's associated with law enforcement, because if you are a law-abiding citizen, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But then sometimes people who are law-abiding citizens lose their lives, and then sometimes people who aren't law-abiding citizens lose their lives, and that's not the proper consequence for the law that they broke. Let's switch gears and let's talk about something that I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about. Let's talk about our sisters. Are you guys married? You guys have children? What's going on, Keidra?
Single as hell.
Why are you on?
I ain't dealing with that craziness.
Why not?
Hell no.
Have you ever dated someone outside of your race?
Have I? Shit, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to take that as a no. You never dated someone outside your race. What about you, Archibald? Have you ever dated someone other than African American female?
Yeah, I actually get criticized behind that.
Okay.
You know, as cultured as I am, you know, I've dated outside my race before.
How was that experience? He's cultured, by the way. He's cultured. Two-hand cultured. How do you? Before you answer, and we're going live right now, you guys. So please submit your questions if you have something that you'd like for us to talk about. We appreciate you guys for viewing our live video. Tell us a little bit more about your experience dating outside of your race.
Well, I'll say for us dating outside my race, there is a difference between the two, meaning that not to say that dating outside your race is bad, but I feel that other races don't understand the struggle compared to other races.
Okay, you gotta go deeper on that.
So what I mean by that is, you know, being a black man, it's very, very tough. So I feel that only sisters can understand the struggle when it comes to, you know, dealing with racism on your job, you know, being denied certain opportunities, different things of that nature. I feel that sisters have a stronger connection within, you know, our society along with the culture. Right. You know, I've dated, you know, Mexican women before, never had soul food before. So it's like you have to kind of reteach them or culture them in, you know, to kind of bring them to like what we consider as being black. You've seen Friday before, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, everybody's seen Friday. Everybody say Menace to Society, don't drink your juice in the hood. It's like it's certain type of black cadences that other people just don't get.
Yeah.
The slang.
Right.
We speak a certain type of way. You know, the black experience, which seems taboo.
Right.
That people just want to be down for.
Yeah. Pharaoh, chime in. Have you ever dated outside of your race?
Absolutely.
Okay. You sound proud.
Absolutely.
Okay. You sound super excited. Okay.
Look here, I don't discriminate.
Okay.
I'm a human being. I love humans.
Yes.
Beings.
Okay. Definitely.
Regardless of what your nationality, race is, and my point of view is that I'm a black man.
Right.
I've dated a white girl. I'm from Atlanta, Texas.
Okay.
And it's very segregated still to this day.
Okay.
And I dated a white girl. Did I get fluff? You have no idea how much fluff I got.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sure.
Anyway, fast forward now. You know.
You're married? Are you married? You're married?
I am married.
Okay.
Happily married to a Hispanic lady right now.
Okay.
So I have 2 daughters. One's about to graduate Texas A&M this year.
Okay.
And then I got one that started also this year.
Okay.
So to answer that question, it's all about the perspective about that person. And no one is wrong for dating outside of their race.
Right.
I feel as if whenever Cupid shoot that arrow, and wherever it goes, you know, if this is attraction, you know, it's there. It's there. Yeah, you can't deny it.
My philosophy on it, I've dated outside of my race quite a few times. Me personally, I feel like you can't, when you love someone or when you think you love someone, it's really difficult to like draw those lines. One, because love is such a rare thing, and coming into contact with someone who loves you for you is such a special thing. And then for 2, love does not see the lines that we have drawn for our own comfort.
That's right.
Right? Love, you know, this isn't my lifestyle, but, you know, there are people that can argue that, hey, you know, I'm in love with this man and I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? And, or I'm in love with this woman and I'm a woman. So, you know, and again, that hasn't been my experience, but I know that love does not see the lines that we like to draw. You know, it doesn't see those lines. It's just, I feel like it's like from one heart to the other. Listen, you guys, we're going to take a quick break. Let me not deceive you. We're just getting started. We're going to jump a lot deeper. You're watching TCBS. We'll be right back after this. How you guys feel?
Right.
We're good.
Okay.
3 seconds.
I wanted to break the ice with you guys. I didn't even pull my questions out. I'm going to grab the questions. We're going to jump a little bit deeper. I didn't want to just, this is you guys' first time on the show, so I didn't want to throw you off into the deep end. But I do want you guys to be open and honest about your views on some of the things that we're getting ready to talk about. And I'm going to take it slow. Again, we're going live, you guys. If you have any questions, I really, really would like for you to submit your questions. If there's something that you would like for us to discuss, it can literally be anything that you want us to discuss. Just submit your question, and in just a moment, we'll be reading your questions and your comments off of the screen. Also, be sure to share our video and let other people know what we have going on. You're watching TCBS.
4, 3.
And welcome back. You're watching the fall series of TCBS. I'm your host, Chip Van Gundy. I have again with me Mr. Keedrum Smith, Mr. Orlando Archibald, and Mr. Orlando Farrell. How are you guys feeling? You still feeling good?
Absolutely.
Still feeling relaxed?
I'm ready.
That water I gave you guys to get you guys?
It's good.
Okay, good. Okay, great. So I know we touched on it for just a moment. I think Mr. Farrell touched on it for just a moment. But I want to hear your specific takes on the sentencing of Bill Cosby as it relates to Judge Kavanaugh. If you want to tie those in together, I don't want to lead the witness. If you want to tie those in together, you're more than welcome to. If you want to just comment on one or the other. But what are your views on the sentencing of Bill Cosby, Mr. Keedrum?
I don't think as an 81-year-old male, just now publicly getting known as a sexual offender is not fair due to his sentencing because of his age.
Okay.
And you're putting someone in, like you said, I don't know much about it, but Supreme Court, and the allegations against him is similar.
Yeah.
And it's so why isn't he going away? Or
right.
Why, we know why. I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. We know why.
Okay. Why is that? Why is one going to prison?
Black.
Yeah. You think so? Okay.
But,
okay. If you're watching on live, what do you think about the sentencing? What do you think about the sentencing of Bill Cosby as it relates to Judge Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court justice nominee. You're saying, no, let me touch on what you said a moment ago. You felt like it wasn't fair for him to be placed as a sex offender because of his age. Well, expound on that.
The man is about to, die.
Okay.
From what I read. He's not living a good life right now.
Okay.
But you still give him 3 to 10 years, knowing he may not be living 3 to 10 years.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And then if he makes it out, he has to register as a sex offender.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think about that, Mr. Archibald, as it relates to his age and him having to register as a sex offender? What do you think about that?
I guess me personally, I just think it is what it is.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not the one to say if he's guilty, not guilty.
Right.
But my thing is, when you have a crime and you're actually sentenced, if those allegations are true. Mm-hmm. If the molestation started, if he was 13 all up into 80, you should be tried to a fair trial.
Right. So you guys feel like he was guilty? Do you feel like he did that?
See, that is something we can't know. I'm not justifying the fact if he's innocent or guilty, mm-hmm. but it's like you're 81 years old, you're about to die. And
wow, you gonna put that man in the grave?
I'm hearing that as I'm hearing that as you saying like because he's old, he shouldn't be thrown in jail.
I'm not saying
so. Clarify that.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be thrown in jail. I'm just saying they know he's sick.
Okay.
It's one thing of registered, but he's a registered sex offender with a sexual assault. Mm-hmm. That's worse.
Right.
Now you're for one, you're a sexual predator. Now everybody know you beating up women now.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But that was what, 30 years ago? Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the crime that he was convicted for the other day or whenever he was convicted was for 2004, I believe. That's what I read. 2004. So it wasn't that long ago. Me personally, I don't believe. Go ahead.
2004, really?
Yeah.
What happened to the laws of
statute? I don't believe it could be where he is, the state that he's in. On certain crimes, there is no statute of limitation as it relates to your ability to be prosecuted. So this alleged this crime took place in 2004, and as it relates to his age, I don't know if I really care. Granted that he actually committed that act, right? I don't know if I care how old he is. Like, if you did that crime, and the woman decided to speak up at a later time when she found the courage to do so, I feel like you should be convicted for it if that's what you did, right? So, it's just, I don't know. It seems very, very strange. The whole situation seems very, very strange to me. But if he did it, I think he should be. I don't know. Maybe house arrest could have been, but I'm not the judge, so I don't know. What do you think?
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, like you said, the whole case on Bill Cosby is strange as hell.
Right.
Because where was your wife doing all of this extra stuff? But now all of a sudden they actually sentence you. She wants to speak up.
Who, his wife?
Yes.
Well, the thing of it is, it's like, okay, so in the 80s or 90s or whenever the Cosby Show came out, like Bill Cosby probably was the most prominent African American in the country. And whenever you, again, I've never been in this relationship. I've never dated a celebrity or mega star, if you will. But I do imagine that during this time in their marriage, sometimes it's known that your husband or wife is unfaithful, and it's accepted to a certain extent, for lack of a better term, because you're at any point you're better with this man or woman than you are without them, right? So it's not strange or far-fetched to think that she knew he was being unfaithful, but she decided to stay with him because of her vows to God and because, it's freaking Bill Cosby, right? So, Bill Cosby in the 80s or 90s is like...
She's still going to get the money.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, dating Bill Cosby, in that time is like dating Jay-Z or dating, like a really, really big personality, or Kevin Hart for that matter. Like Kevin Hart, perfect example. Kevin Hart cheated on his wife, right, and was caught up for it, and the wife was pregnant and getting ready to but it's Kevin Hart. Like, do you leave Kevin Hart? That's what women think. I don't know. Again, I've never been in that situation, so I don't know what I would do, but I can see why that is the logic that some people have. Did you want to touch on that?
What does that make that woman though who actually stayed with him? that kind of make her weak or spineless, huh?
Well, it doesn't. It's okay. So we don't have any women.
I'm
on
gonna stay
the
with
set.
you because I'm Kevin Hart. I cheated. My wife, she know I cheated.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna stay with me because I'm Kevin Hart because I got all these millions and I'm a movie star. So that means in reality, I can do what I want to do with you when I want to do with you, and you gonna do them. You can't do them but accept it. You gonna stay here and accept it.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Can I chime in on that one? Then?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, but would she been with Kevin Hart if he didn't have all that money?
Yeah.
True.
So it's like it's a double edged sword. Like it's like I'm dating you because you are who you are, and relationships at the end of the day are about what people can do for each other. It's not just about like love and happiness. It's like, man, hell, you don't work at your job unless they can do enough for you to sustain the life that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? So it's like our love relationships are just the same. Like dating celebrities or dating people of influence it has a lot of benefits associated to it.
I mean, it's still a business, no matter how you look at it.
And right, marriages holistically, in their origin were like business transactions, right? That's why a lot of times it had to be arranged by the parents because the families had to be involved. And if this family is not going to be able to benefit this family like this family can benefit that one, then if it's not working for both of us, then it's not gonna take place. MSN.com reports that orbiting after a breakup can do a great deal of psychological damage. The definition for orbiting is continuing to associate yourself with your ex's content online after you have broken up with them. Okay? So do you guys ever orbit? Have you ever orbited before? And when do you stop stalking, for lack of a better term? When do you stop following your ex on social media? Right?
I have.
Mm-hmm. You give the vibe of a stalker, so I'm definitely.
Damn.
Damn.
But I'm not gonna bash. We're not gonna do that.
No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I'm gonna leave that petty side.
Okay, leave it at that. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you for
They
sharing.
gotta get you back though, man.
No,
I'm gonna get it back. So what they want? Talk about the white girl while we on this.
No, don't do it.
Okay,
Let it go.
Your wife might be watching.
Let it go. Okay. I'm not married, but okay.
Your girl, your fiance, whatever she is.
Yeah, let it go. We'll let it die.
She is.
Can we edit this part out? I'm joking.
Nah, no.
I'm joking. No, go ahead. Have you ever followed your friend or interacted with their content?
Not in real life, people, but I have on social media. Like, seeing who she talking to, seeing who her new boyfriend is, because I'm kind of curious. And like, hey, did you leave me for better? Did you leave me for worse? And I need to laugh and not cry at the end of the day.
How do you feel if you have an ex-girlfriend, Pharaoh, and she moves on to someone who appears to be, like, what do you if they appear to be better, how does that make you feel on the inside?
It don't make me feel no kind of way because I know who I am.
Okay.
And once you understand who you are,
okay,
and who you are, there's an array, there's an abundance of women that's ready, willing and ready.
Okay, you sound like you used to be a hoe back in the day.
I ain't gonna say all that, man, but
there's a number of bitches. I'm sorry. Okay, take it out. Okay, listen. So, Archibald, tell us a little bit about. Have you ever? I know. Listen, I'm being honest. Like I go into like. I've got this private eye deep down inside of me, and after a breakup, I have this way of like. It is what it is. We're just being honest, open, and transparent. I have orbited before, but I haven't like interacted. I haven't. Yeah, I guess that is interaction. But do you do it? Is that something that you've done in the past?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it like orbiting. I mean, if you got somebody on your friend list, you will see what's on the feed. But beyond that, I don't pay that on never mind.
Yeah.
I mean. I'm kind of with my boy right here. We must have the same family tree somewhere.
Okay. I see what's going on.
No, my thing is, me as an individual, when I come into a relationship, I'm the prize.
Right.
It's a woman, she's looking for a man to marry.
Right.
So with that type of abundance mindset, it's kind of like that give and take. Like he was saying, I know who I am. I know what I bring.
Right.
If you can't step up to the plate, I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. You guys, so you're married. You guys in a relationship. You're single. Are you in a relationship right now?
No.
Okay.
No. Currently, I'm in a situationship.
Situationship.
There you go.
How do we fall into one of those? What happens in a situationship?
Elaborate on that.
I like that.
Situationship is kind of like that borderline, like we're together but we're not together. It's like that type of thing, or we could be, we shouldn't be. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that basic understanding of where we at.
Okay.
But to answer your question, I'm not married, and I think that would be a good topic. Marriage versus not being married.
Right. Definitely, for sure.
Me personally, I don't see marriage in the future per se.
Why is that?
I feel that marriage isn't really practical in this day and age to a certain degree.
Okay.
It's almost obsolete.
Okay.
My viewpoint currently, ladies, my viewpoints might change in their future.
Okay.
But currently, as of right now,
today,
marriage to me is, marriage to me, and I had a quote for it. Marriage is it's almost like a will, or like it's almost like insurance.
Right.
Once the relationship dies, the woman is the beneficiary.
Right.
Once the breakup is done, so once the marriage is dead, the spouse, which is the woman, is the beneficiary, meaning that the woman pretty much takes everything.
Yeah, but what if they come into a relationship with more? So it's happening more and more because women are typically more educated than men. We'll have a trade or we'll have a skill, but when it comes to education, the ability to find gainful employment, women are they're up there now, and once they get equal pay, Lord knows what's going to happen, right? So sometimes women are just, this is my philosophy in a relationship. We're both the blessing. Now I understand that I'm a blessing, but I also know, like, the relationships that I've been in the past, I've been tremendously blessed to find myself in some of the relationships I found myself in. So I look at it in part with you, but I think that we're both a blessing in the relationship. So it's interesting. It's an interesting topic to have. And again, you guys, please chime in if you'd like to add any comments or submit any questions that we can ask our panel. Let's switch gears real quick. I want to ask you guys, where do men draw the line as it relates to date rape? When does drinking go from something that's innocent to date rape? Does that make sense, the question that I'm asking?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
You want me to answer first?
Please.
I'll say it might not be the right answer, but I will say, if you see a woman, she's not her right mind, she's incoherent,
right?
She's not in her right state of mind,
right?
I feel that if a man steps that boundary and takes advantage, I think that's considered as rape.
Okay.
But if it's like, if both people just casually drinking and they're talking, being, conversating, and it's consensual, I don't think that's rape.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah, but if a person can't formulate words, I think that's a huge issue.
Pharaoh, tell us a little bit about your views on that. I see your faces responding, but or rape, what you're saying. So if we're both drinking, it's okay. But if she's more intoxicated, how do you feel about that, Pharaoh?
Well, I think that honestly, I can only make I statements.
Okay.
I ain't gonna put on nobody, I'm make I statements.
Right. Okay.
So if I'm with this lady, we out drinking, I'm drinking, she drinking, and I'm seeing she's getting a whole lot more tipsy than I am, then I feel as if, that's what she wants to do. I'm not stopping her. So then if she started feeling, a certain type of way because I'm looking fly to her or whatever, then, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Isn't that tricky though? Because it's like,
it is tricky.
When you bring in alcohol or you bring in substances, there's always this gray area in which a person can come back the next day and say, hey, that's not what I really wanted to do.
Let me just say this, Chip, and this is where the rubber meet the road.
Okay.
That woman know whether she gonna sleep with you the moment she lay eyes on you, whether it's drinking or not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that 100%.
Okay, and let me just be objective.
A woman knows that she want to sleep with you in a 5-minute conversation.
Let me be objective here, because let me tell you, most of the relationships that I've had, there took some major persistency on my part. And I'm just being a devil's advocate because I know, and what I'm saying specifically to your comments is that I can name their names specifically, a few girlfriends that I met, and they were honest about it. When we met, they were not generally interested in me in that romantic light. And then after some time, I kind of grew on them, so to speak. So sometimes women know, and sometimes women don't know. But to be specific about the conversation that we're having, you're saying that this is all in a woman's plan. Whenever they come out and have drinks with you and get intoxicated, they know that
they loosen up.
Yeah, So they're kind of doing it for their own comfort.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think about that, Keetra?
It is what it is. They drinking, we drinking, we gonna
We're gonna. Okay, see, this is the thing, and I know this is the thing because I'm so afraid. I don't know. I'm just afraid of that, and like when it works that way. Because me personally, it's like I don't know. I guess it's just a line. You have to have like a spirit of discernment. Like when you go from like tipsy to intoxicated, like tipsy. Like being intimate when you're both tipsy, to me, I can do that. But if we're like, and the line is different for everyone, so you kind of have to know the female. It can't be someone you just like met. Like you kind of have to know the female pretty well. You have to have like a relationship with her established before you just get sloppy drunk and then have intercourse, because it just creates room for a Bill Cosby moment. And let me say why I say that. I believe, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. When it comes to this specific topic, I believe that not every woman was secretly drugged. I believe that Bill Cosby used his influence and his personality to say, I want to be intimate with you. Not every woman, but some of the women. I want to be intimate with you. Will you take this pill? That's what I feel like some of them may have done. And of course I wasn't there. For some of them, I may not have even been born. So I could definitely be wrong. What do you think about that?
Taking a pill. That's different.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's
if you take the pill, then I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
As a woman,
right?
I'm not going to take anything. I don't care who you are. If I don't know what it is, Beyonce can come through the door right now and she try to hand me a pill. I don't know what it is. You think I'm gonna take it?
Well,
hell no.
Well, I mean, you're a little bit older and you, I imagine, more mature. But listen, again, a few moments ago we said this is Bill Cosby in the '80s. This is Bill Cosby, right? So who knows in that setting, or maybe they may have been coerced extremely. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say if Oprah Winfrey walked through this door right now and try to hand me a pill, 2 pills, I'm not taking them. I don't care who you are. Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. Hell,
there's something about within that individual who you are as yourself.
We say that though. I mean, it's easy for us to say. And maybe you may not like Beyonce. Beyonce may not be your favorite girl. Rihanna may be your favorite girl. Oprah may not be your favorite girl. You see what I'm saying? Gayle King might be like. But my point is, if the woman that you have always dreamt about asks you to take a pill in order for her to get in the mood, who's to say whether or not you would do it in that environment? What do you think on that?
I mean, that's kind of a trick. I mean, because you are saying Bill Cosby.
Right.
I mean, Bill Cosby, he's America's dad. He was never a sex symbol. So
General Put-Up guy.
You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't, swagged out, nothing like that. So it's kind of like if Bill Cosby is initiating the pill, you got to ask the woman's position of why she's even there in the first place. Because it ain't like it's Chris Brown or you know what I'm saying. This is an older guy. He's a square type of dude. I'm not saying he's a bad dude.
I mean, he could be. I mean, who knows? He could have been a smooth.
No one know what happens behind closed doors and off the.
Bill could have.
But
you have to gift the gab.
But I mean, it all goes about self accountability.
Right.
Because you were coherent before the pill. Mm-hmm. I can see if you was kind of drinking and then it kind of snuck up on you. Right. You have an option to choose yes or no.
Right.
Everybody has the ability to choose. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's alcohol, I don't care if it's a pill, I don't care if it's riding with your homeboy. Yeah. Everybody has a personal choice.
You can decide.
Always.
But sometimes we just do those things because it's there, it's easy. Like get in the car with a friend, and then before you know it, you're pulled over by the police and they've got guns everywhere.
But it goes back to every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
So,
but do we always think about the reaction, or do we think about the joy and the fulfillment that the action is going to give us in the moment? What do you think?
There's different. Now, if I get the option to go buy my own ecstasy pill, then I will take it.
Okay.
If that's what we gonna cordially do, I'm gonna take it. If I purchase it with my own,
again, devil's advocate, or it could just be someone you feel like you have a trusting relationship with me, and I got the pills. Kedron, they're good pills. They're just ecstasy pills. Do you want to? You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm gonna say to that?
What are you gonna say?
You really want to say that? Okay.
Don't say it. I'm imagining that you're going to say that you're going to say no.
But no, I couldn't. I hold myself to a higher standard.
Okay.
To accept anything less than what I think it is.
Definitely. Let's take a quick break. You're watching the fall series of TCBS. We'll be right back after this. How you guys feeling?
This made me feel like I got a damn hernia in my back.
Oh my gosh. Asante, you guys made some comments, but it didn't pop up as we thought they would. So we apologize about that. Sorry about that, but thank you for interacting.
All right, here we go.
We ready to jump in?
It's 5, 4, 3.
Hello and welcome. You are watching TCBS, our fall series. I'm so excited to have our special guest on today, Mr. Orlando Archibald. How you feeling, my man?
Oh man, I'm feeling fantastic.
I'm excited to have you on. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's been
trying to get you in the seat.
Since 2012.
Man, but we finally got you here. I'm excited, and we're just gonna jump right in. I'm so excited to talk about some of the artifacts that you brought with you today. Tell us a little bit about the journey in which you've embarked on and how you got to the artifacts that we'll be looking at in just a moment.
Well, I've always been a casual shopper online.
Okay.
And, I've always been a history buff.
Okay.
Black history in particular.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I feel that's our birthright to go back in time,
mm-hmm.
see where our ancestors are going.
For sure.
And, take that and see where we're going.
Right.
And, unfortunately, for some reason, black people, we're kind of like, at sight type of people. It's like we don't believe nothing until
we see it.
Mm-hmm. So, like, say for an example, you might say, I want to start my own TV show.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, black people don't believe you until you actually succeeded. You got the receipts, and
mm-hmm.
they'll take your word for it.
Right, for sure.
So, when it comes to these artifacts, I like to be a visual learner.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about an era that nobody really talks about.
Right.
And I can actually paint that picture by actually having these items and
Sounds
actually open up the floor and actually have an actual discussion.
Talk about the first artifact that you found. How did you come across it? I know that you were obviously online. That's what you just said. But how did you come to this artifact? And like, was there a light that went up in your head that said, "Hey, listen, I need to search for more of these"?
Well, I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, my original piece that I'm having a hard time finding, I want to find a lynching postcard. Of a black person actually being lynched and actually have an actual postcard.
That's pretty dark.
It is, and black memorabilia is very dark.
Yeah.
You know, and it might sound weird, but like, why would you want to keep stuff like that around the house? And does it creep you out, stuff like that?
Right.
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
What creeps me, what disturbs me the most is people don't even believe that's even possible.
Mm-hmm.
People can't fathom that black children were fed to alligators.
Mm-hmm.
People can't fathom that.
But why the need, in your opinion, to enlighten people about such a dark space in our American history? Now, it's relevant to a certain extent today, so maybe that could be your answer. But why do you feel like you need to show people such dark and demented images of a place that many people could argue we've moved on from?
Well, my counter argument was, have we? Because when you look at black people getting killed in the streets, we become desensitized to it, to the point we really don't. Oh, there's just another person that got shot.
Right.
Back then that was another person that just got hung on a tree, or that was another baby that got fed this alligator baby.
Right.
I mean, do you believe that those stories should be told? Do you believe that,
I think that should be told, but I feel like, me personally, I feel like what's the point? Not in the sense like you don't have a point, but like what is your end goal? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to get people to see that history throughout time has been repeating itself, and this is how we can try to break the cycle? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's a little bit of it.
Okay.
To show that this is actually a period of time that's actually was swept underneath the rug, and some of those can correspond to today.
Okay.
One of the artifacts that I have, actually both of those artifacts can be traced back to today's current time. It's just hidden in plain sight. That's all it is.
That's interesting. Let's take a look at the artifacts. Can I grab these artifacts?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at them. I'm excited, man. This is interesting stuff. I know I'm gonna let you present them to me in any way that you like to. Go ahead and show me what you got here. Okay. Thank you guys for interacting with us live. Always educating his fellow man. Salute. Shout out from B. Dot, one of my good friends. So appreciate that comment, my G. Go ahead and open up your artifacts. We're gonna take a look at them. But again, I'm very fascinated about this type of discussion, because many people believe that, like, why would you? It seems like you're trying to incite anger, and that's not my view necessarily, but that is a view that would be presented in an environment like this, right? It seems as though you're trying to incite anger in people. What would you say to people that say that you're trying to do that?
Well, if that's the case, I mean, I think that's absolutely false. You know, both of these artifacts came from the 1940s.
Okay.
This is way before I was even born,
Right.
so this is something that already existed.
Right.
And, you know, this is not a hidden secret. You know, the powers that be, you know what I'm saying, you know, white people, they pass this stuff on.
Right.
From generation to generation. And this is either taught or this is an upbringing.
How do you feel about white people? I mean, since you use that term, well, how do you generally feel about you know, Caucasian people?
I feel like with any other race of people, I mean, you have good people, you have bad people.
That's fair.
And you have people who choose to live a wicked lifestyle, no different than a black person.
Right.
But, you know, these artifacts reflect a time period where it was acceptable to degrade
other people.
To degrade other people, so much so that this is technically considered propaganda. And with that being said, it's training a generation or a group of people to feel a certain type of way of people
about themselves and about others.
About themselves.
Let's see what you got
others.
here. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we got going on.
So here we have a bar of soap that has a peppermint, you know, flavoring in it, aroma to it, and the bar of soap is called Tar Baby.
Wow.
So, you know, so you guys can see it.
Show it up there for camera one.
I'm not sure how close that
they're
able to see it.
Yeah, you can zoom in on it.
Okay.
Tar Baby. Tell us a little bit about this artifact and how you found it.
So I actually found this one online. I actually did the history, did some research behind it. I didn't know that the original story of Tar Baby was there was, you know, short story. There was a fox and a rabbit. The fox was trying to capture the rabbit by creating a baby that was made out of like a tar baby. So it was a black baby. It was made out of tar.
Wow.
So, you know, long story short, the rabbit did get stuck in the tar baby.
Right.
And once the fox started talking to the rabbit, the fox was talking about how he's going to eat the rabbit. You know, boil him, this, that, and the third. And the rabbit said, "Please don't throw me in a thorn bush." The fox said, "Oh, that's a perfect idea." Threw him in the thorn bush, and he got free. So the rabbit, in return, got a chance to live another day. But that was actually a nursery rhyme.
May I see?
Yeah. That's what it's here for. It's to talk about the stories, because these artifacts are deeper than what they look like. Than what they look like. It's more to the story than just saying, "Oh, it's just a bar of soap."
Tar Baby. Interesting story. What other artifacts do you have?
So the next one, which, you know, I encourage anybody to research, you can find online. It's called has anybody heard of Chicken Coon Inn?
Briefly, I was talking to a gentleman the other day on the phone about I think it was you. I was talking about.
So I actually brought the actual menu.
Wow.
From the original location.
Where was it?
I forgot the actual location, but it's actually on the back of this menu here. So this is the original 1940s menu
to a restaurant
called Chicken Coon Inn.
Wow.
And what shocked me the most is the condition that it was in. I thought it was going to be ripped up, feathered, brittle, and it looks like it's brand new. So that makes me question the previous owners or owner who actually care to even want to preserve something like that.
Right, definitely. It's hard to imagine that you come across these artifacts all the time and don't harbor any ill will towards people that have oppressed African Americans throughout the course of our history. What do you? I mean, so you have no hard feelings towards anyone. And again, I'm not trying to lead the witness. I don't want you to say that you do it or that you don't.
No. It's for camera one, in case you guys can get a chance to see it. My take on it was, I briefly told the story when I first held this item. I could actually feel the hatred from that era.
Right.
I can only imagine, what we've gone through in that time period. You're talking about a time period where, propaganda where people were taught to see black people a certain type of way. In this way, and it's horrifying. Yeah. I've never seen any other group of people being treated like
depicted in that light.
No, not at all.
For sure. Do you think that people, maybe not in such a dramatic way, but do you think that people of color are still viewed similarly in this fashion today?
Yeah, I mean, look at President Obama. You know, I've seen banners, puppets of President Obama being hanged from a noose. So I mean, nothing has really changed.
What do you want people to feel? What do you want people to see? What do you want people to learn when they see that you have that you found these type of artifacts? What do you want people to take from this conversation? And I know that you do a live broadcast. I want to say every week you do a live broadcast on your social media, and you present these type of artifacts that you found. What do you want people to take away from those experiences with you?
You know, if anybody was to take anything and learn from this, you know, this doesn't these, you know, these stereotypes, artifacts. These artifacts, these stereotypes aren't us. This isn't me.
Right.
You know, this isn't you.
Right.
These images don't represent any of my people.
Right.
This is over exaggerated. This is not who we are. So, you know, to go back to your question, how do I feel? Do I have any ill will? No, not at all. You know, like I said, you know, everybody's not the same.
Right. For sure.
You know, I just feel that, you know, we should be aware of where we came from.
For sure.
And where we're going. So, you know, when I present these items, I don't have any ill will against these items. I thought it was interesting.
Right.
You know, I could have easily said, no, I'd let somebody else buy them.
Yeah.
But I bought them as a sense of an education tool.
For sure. For sure.
And if anything, when I saw these images, you know, to be honest, this actually increased my sympathy towards black people, towards us, because I feel that, you know, we've been beaten down so much, man. We've
been taught to beat each other.
Yeah, we need to give each other a break. Right. I mean, man, how far do we gotta go?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Definitely. How far we gotta go?
It's hard to love yourself and each other when this is the image of yourself that you've been given.
Right, and you know, everybody don't think that we're like this, but you do have a percentage of people that do.
And it doesn't even have to be a large percentage. Because if it's the most powerful percentage, then it has the same effect, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people are in the room. If the guy closest to the light switch wants the lights off, then everybody's got to be in the dark, right? So definitely, Orlando. I know we don't have much time, but I thank you so much for sharing your artifacts. We got to have you back on the show. You had a lot of great commentary, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of these type of artifacts whenever you find them.
Oh, most definitely. May I say one more thing?
Please.
Current events, the Aunt Jemima syrup bottle comes from the 1950s. The original depiction of Aunt Jemima was a black mammy, and she was stereotyped the same way.
And it's like this.
It's just like this, but they doctor her up to where it's just normalized.
A little bit more presentable.
So when you think about Aunt Jemima, you know, pancake syrup, you know, mix, the Uncle Ben's, stuff like that, it comes. It reinforces stereotypes.
And you don't even realize.
Don't even realize it.
Wow.
That's why this stuff is here.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much for coming on. You're watching TCVS. We'll be right back after this. It's powerful, man. Powerful stuff. Powerful. Thank you guys for joining in, because we're a little bit short on time. You can just put that right by that watch. Awesome. Guys, please continue to interact with us. We're going to speak to Mr. Farrell. We're short on time, but we're not going to cut you short. We're just going to go over a few seconds if they'll allow us to. You guys ready to jump in?
Yes.
Okay. You good? You still good? You need another shot? I'm messing with you.
5, 4, 3.
This one. Hello and welcome. I'm Chip C. Van Gundy. You're watching our fall series of TCVS. I'm so excited about our special edition today with our guest, Mr. Orlando Farrell. How are you feeling, sir?
Wonderful.
Man, listen, isn't it awesome how the universe works?
It is. It's very awesome.
One day I'm sitting in the back of an Uber, and this gentleman is driving, and we just began to converse about what we do, and he's telling me his a little bit of his life story, and I'm like, well, I'm going to be filming a show in a few moments. I have to have you on our show. Tell us again a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do, Mr. Orlando Farrell.
All right. First of all, Chip, thank you once again for inviting me on the show. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm from a little small town called Atlanta, Texas. Grew up there. Graduated high school. Didn't have everything, but I had everything, which is love, which is more than most people can say. So I graduated high school. You know, well, in high school, I was selling drugs.
Okay.
Got out of high school, went to college, Jarvis Christian College. Going to school for CPA, Certified Public Accountant. And I had a good buddy of mine from Bunton and Dixon Circle in Dallas.
I've never heard of that place. Okay.
But the guy was like, man, I told the guy, I'm like, man, I'm finna drop out of school. He's like, for what? I'm like, cuz I'm finna go out here and make this money. I had my peers back home coming up to the school every weekend with this pocket full of money.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, they're like, man, we getting this money out here in these streets, man. I'm like,
come on out.
Yeah, come on out.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I think I am, man. So I did a year, dropped out. My mom like, you can't stay here.
Yeah.
If you're not working and going to school, you can't stay here. So my dad had just got a contract from putting in-ground swimming pools from the East Coast to the West Coast. So we went on there. I said, okay, well, I'll go with him. Went out there, got that money, which it was an opportunity for me to see something other than what I've seen for the 19, 20 years of my life.
At that
Atlanta, Texas. Right. So I go with him. We make this money. I go make enough money, buy me a car, make enough money, buy me a car. When I get back, so I bought me a car and I bought me an ounce of cocaine, crack cocaine.
Okay.
Went to work.
And that's where things go downhill.
That's when it goes.
Okay.
That's when it go downhill.
The car is fine.
Yeah.
But when you get the crack with it, that's when it becomes a problem.
So, I'm out there doing my thing, man, serving, hustling, whatever. And I had one of my relatives to stop me one night, man.
Right.
He flagged me down, like, say, man, what's up, man? You working? I'm like, I'm always working.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up? What you need? He said, man, I mean, but my friend over there. I'm like, but I don't know your friend.
Yeah.
And he's like, but man, he my classmate. He good.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I don't know him. Mind you, Chip, I had no cash money, but I had a pocket full of dope, about $3,000 worth of dope cut up in my pocket.
Yeah.
So, and plus my gas light was on in my car. I'm about to run out of gas.
Yeah.
A dope deal about to run out of gas.
Yeah, that's bad for business.
Right.
You got to keep the company okay?
Right. So I'm like, okay, let me serve this dude. I go serve him $40. I had one of my partners at the store. He come out, he got in the same vehicle that I just got out of, and then he got in my vehicle. I'm like, say, man, did you just serve that guy X month of dope? He like, yeah, why? I'm like, man, I put two and two together real quick. But before I even had went up and sold the guy, I got this churning in my stomach. So we all built with we come with these indicators.
Spirit of discernment.
Right.
Yeah.
We come with it, but
if you ignore it.
Right. Most don't pay attention to it, and I didn't. So it cost me, but then it helped me. It made me to who I am today by not listening. But anyway.
So you served to an undercover
narcotic agent, yes.
Man.
And I had no idea the guy looked just like a dope fiend, spitting image, everything about him was crackhead.
Everything looked like, this was
so
okay.
I sold the guy, and then my buddy, he come out the store, he sold the guy, he got him on, come like, say, man, did you just sell this guy $40 for them? He's like, yeah, why? I'm like, dude, I just sold him $40 too. Why didn't spend that whole 80 with me? He's he's police.
Right.
Like, how you figure? I'm like, think about it. Why do you want to compare the quality of crack? It's right. Crack is crack. Right, crack is crack. Crack is crack. So I'm like, so now you know what we got to do, man. He like, okay, well, I'm all for it. So at the time, man,
what were you gonna do? What were you gonna do?
I was gonna shoot the guy. I was gonna kill him. We was gonna kill him, but it wasn't meant for him to die that night. And thank God it wasn't, because we waited on him, got the car, because I wasn't going to jail. I had a fear.
So you guys were plotting to kill a police officer. Yeah. But this is the environment that you live in. It's, to me, it's far-fetched. But to a drug dealer who's around that environment, this is what has to happen.
Or you going to prison.
Right.
So I always had a fear of going to prison, giving life to it by fearing it all the time, not knowing at the time that I'm bringing energy to me. I didn't understand it until later in life.
Man, it's crazy. I've never heard, in my 29 years of life, I've never heard anyone say that they were plotting to. That's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah,
plotting to kill this guy.
Exactly.
Did you? So when you realized that you had sold him cocaine, why didn't you just go shoot him right then and there?
Because we was in front of the Easy Mart. Cameras and everything. Yeah. So we waited till the guy leave and go down the back road, and we go behind him. And so this town, Atlanta, he made this right. So I was gonna go up and make the next block, come back down, and make that left. I mean that right, and meet him right there at the next stop sign. Yeah. So when we met there at the stop sign, it was a police officer coming down this way. So me and the police officer like this, and this guy's like this. So he pull off.
Is that the moment when you realize it's over? Did you realize right there?
No, I didn't know, because I wasn't. The police didn't stop us. But however, I had guns, drugs, alcohol all in the car. So we played it cool. We just Drove
Kept
on.
going.
So we was gonna try to cut the guy off on the next block.
On the next intersection.
But we never saw him again. So it wasn't meant for that guy to die. So about 2 months later, I saw a guy again at the same place, same location. Man, what's up? You got some dope? I don't sell dope. I quit. I don't do that. I don't know who you are. He's like, okay, man. So I left. About 2 months later, I see the guy again. Like, hey, man, come on, man. What that good? I'm like, I don't sell drugs. I don't even know you, dude.
Yeah.
But he gave me a look, Chip. He gave me a look like, you know, you done fucked up.
You're in now.
You know, you done fucked up. Now,
Yeah.
now it's time to pay the piper.
Yeah.
And so, by that time, I was dating this girl back at home,
Yeah.
white girl. And she worked at the city
Why did you
hall.
specify that she was white? I was curious. Why did you specify that?
Because it makes the story even more.
Just putting some color onto it.
Right.
Okay.
You gonna understand the reason why, you know, I
Okay,
what
I'm just
happened.
curious.
So, you know, her dad in the town I'm from.
She
very
worked at
separated.
City Hall, and
She
so
worked
she
at
knew
City
some
Hall.
people.
She knew some people. My name was ringing in City Hall, so she called me. Babe, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop. Your name is ringing throughout the City Hall down here. I'm like, for real? And I'm like, yeah.
You must have been big time.
Well, in a small town of 4,800 people.
It doesn't take much to be big time. Yeah,
it don't
for
take
sure.
too much. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna chill out. But then I was hearing also about, you know, the people that was going to jail over there. They was getting out like, man, your name is over there on the indictment list. I'm like, what is an indictment? They're like, it's a secret indictment. I'm like, well, what is that?
They coming for you.
Yeah.
They
They're like, you know, you've been caught. You've been on camera. I'm like, what?
Dope, yeah.
So only thing I can remember is about this guy. And I'm like, damn, he was.
You saw him 2 more times. You didn't think to kill him yet? Why didn't you kill him?
Because at that point in
It's not
time,
that I'm not encouraging you.
at that point in time, you know,
Sounds like I'm encouraging. I'm not encouraging.
at
Lord
that point in
knows.
time, I'm like, nah, it wasn't worth it.
Too late.
It was too late. You know, my mind was that.
So
at
what
that
were you gonna
point,
do? You got caught selling dope. You see this guy multiple times. You know this is the guy that's going to be the reason why I go to the penitentiary.
I didn't know that for certain. I
You just had a feeling.
hunch. You know, I had an indication that, you know, it's just like, you know, when you get ready to make a mistake or you finna get ready to do something wrong, you get a
Get a
prompt.
hunch.
You
Something
get a
tells
hunch.
you, yeah.
You know, God tell you, you better not do
Don't
this.
do it.
But yet, many and most don't listen to it like I did.
Right.
So I didn't listen. I followed I did what I had to do. You know. So then I, long story short, it came. Reality showed up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
The
at home.
indictment.
Yeah, the indictment showed up. I was at home cutting my parents in them yard, and we lived on this live on some acreage, and it's probably like a quarter mile till you actually get to the house, but you're coming down this dirt road. And so I'm sitting on the back under the tree, and I see this dirt. I see the dirt coming from
getting brushed up.
right, getting brushed. I'm like, well, what is that? And the
Somebody
wind wasn't
coming.
blowing. I'm like, somebody coming. So I look. I get up and look, go look, and sure enough, it was the sheriff. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, it's it. This it.
This is it. You know, this must be true. But then my mind immediately said, run. But then, you know, that same soft-spoken voice said, if you run, you're going to run forever. Is that the type of lifestyle you want to live? So I'm debating, me myself debating. I'm like, man, I'm not going to prison.
I mean, I don't want to run forever, but I sure want to run right now.
So I'm looking at all these woods, and I'm like, run. And then one part of me like, no, you did the time. You did the crime, do the time. Now it's time to pay. The guy got out, the sheriff knew my family, you know, because it's small town, so everybody knew everybody. He knew my family. And but the guy who was with him, when he got out, I'm like, damn.
That was the same guy?
Dude, man.
It's
That's
the same narcotics
dude.
officer.
Right.
Wow.
And so he don't look like no crackhead. Now he look like a real.
Cleaned up.
He cleaned up, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he bashed out and everything. He like, you remember me? I'm like, I ain't never saw you in my day of life.
Yeah.
He like, are you Orlando Farrell? I'm like, no, I'm John Hancock. He like, you sure you don't know me? And you say you who? I said, I'm John Hancock. I ain't never seen you before in my life. But then the sheriff, he like, bullshit. Enough with the bullshit. Your ass is going to jail today.
Yeah, it's going to today's your day.
For delivering a controlled substance to an undercover narcotic agent. And I'm like, what? He said, get your ass up. I'm like, well, okay, well, let me cut my music off. No, we got it. I said, well, let me go ahead and tell my mom y'all about to take me to jail.
Yeah.
No, we got it. They ain't never took my music off. They ain't never told my mom or nothing. Yeah. So,
did you finish the yard?
The yard was done. Matter of fact, I was screaming. Matter of fact, I was just sitting outside smoking a sweet.
Yeah.
You know, I was smoking me some weed.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that are just joining us, we have Mr. Orlando Farrell on today. He's promoting a project that he has coming out December 3rd, a book entitled the
Understanding the Road to Wintersville.
Understanding the Road to Wintersville. He's talking a little bit about his life story and the journey that led up to him creating this wonderful project. So you end up in the penitentiary. You told me previously that you had been in the penitentiary twice.
Correct.
And then there was a moment when your parents came to visit you and you saw that they had aged dramatically. Talk about that moment. Is that something that you express in the book as well?
Absolutely.
Talk about that moment in the book where you realized that I've literally got to change my life or this is going to be the end of me.
Absolutely. Well, the moment that they came to see me the second time around, my mother, she's the only somebody that wrote me. She wrote me a letter every week.
Right.
That's what you call that agape love. Regardless of what you did,
right.
She still loves you. She sent me a letter every week. But this time around, Chip, you know, when they come through the doors, man, you know, the first time they still had coloration in their hair.
Right.
You know, but the second time when I was behind them bars, it was all white. My dad, all this here was white.
Yeah.
Hair was white. My mom, her was white. I'm like, dude. You know, that moment when I saw them, it was like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
You got to be done.
You got to turn your life around.
You got to turn your life around, or you will not be able to spend no quality time
with your
parents, with your family. And mind you, I'm probably like 25, 23. I'm young. I'm in my early 20s.
You can get out and still go back into it if you want to. Yeah.
So after that I got out, but before I was getting ready to get out, you know, I did the time, done everything. It was time for me to get released, and the parole people was like, well, you have to come back to Northeast Texas. I'm like, but I can't come back to Northeast Texas because if I come back, you might as well leave me in here because I'm going to be back in here for something worse than what I did the first time that got me in here. Yeah. So they were like, where you want to go? I'm like, Houston, Texas, to a halfway house called New Direction. You know, the halfway house is where, you know, they say they habilitate you right before you get ready to come back into society. So successfully completed that, man, and I arrived here in Houston May 17th, 2002. Man. That's the day that it all started. Yeah, man.
Your new chance in life.
Oh, man.
Talk to those people who are in the middle of that, whether they're dealing drugs and they feel like there's no way out, or if they're substance abusers and they feel like they can't break the cycle of this addiction. They can't break the stronghold. You're someone who's walked that line. Have you ever used those substances that you used to?
I have.
And it's an addiction that's hard to break, would you say?
It's very addictive.
Yeah. And something that can probably suck the life out of you.
It can.
I imagine.
It can. It does all the time. And me at the time, me knowing who I always was God-fearing. I already had the relationship with God. I grew up in the church. Didn't have to do nothing what I did, but I chose to do it. Chose to go down that path. But I said, you know what? I want to try. I want to see what makes those fiends fiend
the way that they do.
The way they do.
Right.
So I tried it, man, and I'm like, wow.
What does it do? I've never.
So, it just numbs you. It numbs you. It makes you feel a certain kind of way. But it's the smell that you know. It's like I have a distinguished smell. Okay. That once you get it, you know, like man, you just a craving, like a sugar. Right. You know, it's real. It's a real craving. Yeah. But thanks be to God. Going in, I had the mindset that I was not going to be hooked. I was just tampering with this. I wanted to experience what made them do what they, you know. So, so I tried it. You know, I tried all type of drugs. Thanks be to God, I'm still here, man.
What part of your life would you change if you could? What part of these experiences would you change if you had an opportunity to?
None. Absolutely none.
Because all the goods and see, that's what so many people don't realize. Hear me clearly. The good parts of your life are just as much a part of them as the bad ones.
Absolutely.
And if you take away the negative experiences, then you're going to taint the positive ones. Like life is a process. And although you dealt drugs and although you use drugs and although you may be going through a certain set of circumstances, like it's all a part of where you're going. And just like Mr. Farrell here, you can come out on the other side and have a wonderful testimony that, you know, there's nothing that you can do that can put you outside of the reach of God. What do you want people to take from your book specifically when the project is done and released on December 3rd?
What I want a person to take away from my book is the understanding. Mm-hmm. Understanding is, you know, you can have wisdom, knowledge, but what is that wisdom and knowledge without having an understanding of it? So the purpose for me writing the book is to let an individual know that they can have, do, be, become, achieve, accomplish whatever that is in life that they set their mind to. The only somebody who will ever keep them from succeeding and failing in life is the person that's staring them back in the mirror. Yeah. That person can be your friend or your enemy. So I would much rather for that person to be my friend than my enemy because it can be very, very detrimental.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, but however, that all comes with an understanding, you know. And I always prayed, even as a child, God, give me that understanding and the wisdom and the knowledge that you gave King Solomon. So you have to be careful what you pray for because it'll happen.
Yeah,
it will happen. So all those events leading up to that, going to prison, getting out, coming here to the city, turning my life around, doing a 180-degree circle versus a 360-degree circle, standing at that madness, you know, doing that 180-degree, doing an about face.
Right.
I give God all the credit.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And all that was experience. You know, that's how you get wisdom is through experience.
Definitely.
So all those experiences allowed me to understand, you know, and God was always like, you need to write your book. You need to tell your story.
You need to write it.
I'm like, who want to hear my story? You know, who is my audience?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I would throw it away. It'll come back up. You need to write your book. You need to tell your story.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have any money. I don't have a publisher. I don't have how I'm gonna do all this.
Right.
You know, so I throw it away. So me and God, we having a duality.
Tug of war. Yeah,
we having a tug of the war. But it would just keep coming up.
For sure.
So at the time, 2005 is when I started writing the book. I just finished writing the book this year.
Isn't that the challenging part? Like when you're writing a project like this, it's like no one's over your back other than the voice of God, which is not the same as a boss with a deadline and a writer pink slip. And it's kind of hard to stay motivated.
It is, and that's why that voice kept coming. You know, tell your story.
For sure.
Tell your story. You need to tell your story because it's going to help somebody.
Right. For sure.
You know, it's going to help some individual who's going down that path or who's about to
go down that path.
You know, okay, well, here's a guy who's been through it. You know, and now he's out. He's an entrepreneur, 7 different streams of income. You know, 7 different businesses.
You got $20 tomorrow, by the way. I know you got it. I know you got it. Damn it! I mean, darn it! I know you got it.
How you wanted it? Bitcoin or what?
Well, that's amazing. Listen, we're a little short on time. Mr. Orlando Farrell, I'm excited about your project. We're going to have you back on before the project comes out. I want to see what this looks like, and I want a free copy.
Absolutely.
I'm joking.
You can get that, Chip.
I'm joking with you, man. I'm just joking. We got to have you back on, man. You gave us some commentary earlier, so I definitely would like you to continue to come back and contribute to the show. You're watching TCBS. We'll be right back after this. Thank you so much, man. I'm excited. Wonderful job, my man. Wonderful job. We ran a little bit over, but it was time well spent.